Hello and welcome to another episode of the Next Game Dilemma, your board gaming podcast. On this week's episode, we will go over a plethora of 1v1 games. We talk about the games that some of my fellow casters and I have played, like Pagoda, Air, Land, and Sea, Fugitive, and Seven Wonders Duel. Finally, we'd like to go over a question that we posted on Reddit that we actually haven't had a chance to go over and fully discuss on the podcast. Is Battlestar Galactica and Dead of Winter the same game? Let's go! Today, I'm joined by the only Jason.
Woo woo! Represent.
Yeah, this is a special two-man broadcast just because we've been playing lots of 1v1 games, so I thought it'd be nice to do a 1v1 podcast.
Yeah, 1v1s are my favorite. It's really because of me that we're doing this. I pushed it. I was like, look, I got these one-on-one games, and you're going to play them with me.
That actually, yeah, that's a little bit. You brought over a bunch of 1v1s and just started playing them with people.
I just kept bringing them until you caved.
Yeah, not so much caved as... Okay, yeah, so yeah. Yeah.
No, you always had a passing interest, I feel.
Yeah, I do enjoy 1v1s just because my background in so many CCGs and TCGs.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely down for the one-on-one love chess, even though I'm bad at it.
Oh, yeah, we still haven't played Go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be bad at that, too.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
No, everyone's bad at that. That's
Unless
the
you're
beauty.
Korean, right?
Yeah, and like 87 years old.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
Because otherwise, you're just good at StarCraft.
Yeah, it's once you retire because of your arthritis
Yeah.
that you only have the dexterity to slam those tokens down. Just pow, pow. We actually started talking 1v1s because of a lot of things. While you did bring 1v1s over, lots of stuff that I haven't played, so that's what got my interest. Is a lot of those I've never played before. But also, we started talking about War of the Ring.
Yeah.
And that's a game that has interested me because it's so complex, and the fact that it's 1v1.
And so, okay, so there was a question before about like why 1v1s, and the biggest thing for me is okay, so keeping track of 4 different players at one table, keeping track of how much money they've got, what resources they're in, what they're specializing in, and what their intents are is very different from all those same things, but for one player.
Yeah,
you know?
I can see that.
Yeah, so it's easier for me. Plus, it's a lot more intimate. You get to know the other person a lot better. That's
very true. If there's bluffing involved, if there is anything where you have to sort of play the player versus playing the game.
Yes, exactly. And that's my favorite type of 1v1 game, is where there's a lot of space for head games.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gotcha. Yeah, that's why I like Fugitive, one of the ones that you actually brought over.
Yeah. So Fugitive, let's talk about Fugitive.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start with
because
that.
F you. So, for those that are uninitiated, Fugitive is a game where one player takes the role, it's an asymmetrical game, so one player takes the role of the marshal who is hunting down the other player who plays the fugitive. It's really simple, actually. Explaining it is a little difficult.
It's definitely something that would be easier to teach visually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because it has to do with basic math.
Right. Well, it's also a very visual game, but without getting too deep into it, it's basically you're playing a series of hideouts as the fugitive, face down, that are each numerically valued between 0 and 42. And there are rules surrounding which, what the value of your next hideout can be. But essentially you get one per turn, one hideout per turn. So as the fugitive, you're trying to kind of space out your hideouts erratically, in a way that throws off the marshal, because the marshal gets just as much information as you, just a little bit behind you as far as how much information gathering there is, to try to determine by a process of elimination and trying to read the opponent which base he may have played. If he ever discovers all of your bases, fugitive loses, marshal caught him, and hooray. But if the fugitive ever gets to card 42, that's like the art on the card is actually the fugitive on a jet plane. Yeah, just like later going to, I don't know, Norway.
Yeah, I actually really like the mechanic of getting to the final hideout which it triggers a manhunt.
Yeah, if the marshal is too far behind, there is a catch-up mechanism. It's like a last-ditch effort where the marshal can guess hideouts one by one.
Not just one by one, but like in a row. He gets to go on a chain. If he's correct, he continues on to the next one. By process of elimination, like Jason said, depending on what cards get flipped up, you reveal what cards are already used up. So you know what's not what he can't play anymore, or what's not played. Like I said, it's more difficult to describe it without actually showing it, but it's fairly easy once you get a couple round or two in. Yeah,
but essentially it's a guessing game. A lot of like I was saying, what I love about 1v1 games, a lot of room for head games. You could be essentially pushing the limit to the rules of how you can place your hideouts just to maximize, or minimize the number of cards required to get to the end as the fugitive. Or you could be, staying within the minimums just to keep waste more of the time of the marshal. So, if you remember all those minutes ago, I said F you to Noel about this game because he has routinely beat me, not just as the fugitive, but also as the marshal, which I prided myself in, which is very frustrating.
I think I definitely got more lucky when I was on the marshal side, for sure. I'm going to go ahead and just say that. But the fugitive side is very, very fun. Both sides are fun, but I think the fugitive, you sort of get this like little giddiness inside of you when the person tries to guess the number of your hideout, and the person's like 6, and then you look at the card because of course you forgot what you played
every time,
and you get to smugly be like, nope. And then you see your opponent just frustrated, like, what is it? Just because he's trying to guess, he's trying to maximize his time and efforts, but this game has a really good bluff mechanic as well.
Oh, yeah.
So on top of just playing hideouts, one of the ways that you can do is, what was it called? Was it called dashing or running? Sprinting, thank you. They have a sprint mechanic. So normally you'd only be able to get to a certain number from another certain number, from your starting number. But you can discard cards to
sprint.
To sprint again to a further number. And those cards are usually, every card has a little footstep, which shows you how much you can sprint. 1 or 2. However, you can also put cards face down, like sprints, but value them at 0, just to throw off your opponent.
Essentially extending your range, but not utilizing that range.
Correct, just to mess with his math.
Yeah. That's also very frustrating.
It's beautiful. It's like Jason said, it's frustrating on the
marshal
side, but on the fugitive side, you get that little like.
Yeah,
it's the most evil thing you do all day.
You feel like the clever fox. You're like, yeah, fuck you, Marshall. But that was a really fun game. Very evocative. Like the art is beautiful. Is the box? No, I took it home. Damn.
Yeah, I believe you took it home.
Damn, I want to give credit to the designers and
very,
the publishers.
Very slick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the box looks like a little briefcase. It has little magnets. So if you have a lot of those small games and you ever get tired of like having to open it and close it and all that stuff, it's real slick. Looks like a briefcase. It's dope. Love it.
Yeah. One of the things that we haven't explored on it is sort of the handicap. The fact that you can add events to either side, and then add random events in order to screw people up or help.
It's actually, I love how flexible it is with those random those event cards. There's a variant in there to handicap one side to make it truly random, where the event cards will just help whoever it helps.
Yeah, however it comes up.
Yeah, or like it'll trigger only at certain points. Some. I haven't gone through all of the rules very closely, but at least 4 different ways to use those event cards.
Yeah, there was which is nice. This is a game that you could play with somebody, and if for whatever reason one person is like definitely ahead of the other person, you can add them as handicaps and still try to keep it fun.
Yeah.
Because this game more than anything is a little bit just for fun. Because that's the way I sort of feel about all 1v1s, as long as they're not epic, like
right.
War of the Ring or Twilight Imperium,
Yeah, I want to come back to that later. But yeah, in this game, I feel like we would have to go through a lot of iterations before we start finding that we have to use the event cards to make it interesting. But yes, absolutely, that's a game that I highly recommend.
Yeah, the value on that is through the roof.
Oh yeah, it's I think you can find it online for like $15 to $20.
Yeah, super sweet game. Really, really good. I found myself wanting to play it again, like immediately afterwards.
Yeah,
Just, like for either way, like if I caught you, I'm like, oh, that was quick, let's do it again. Or if I got away, or if you caught me, like, oh, that was quick too. Like I want to jump back in, win or lose. I didn't care which way I went. It was fun.
It's one of those one more games.
Yeah, well, it's not just one of those one more games. It's just like because it's so not random, but I never want to say random for a game. The decisions that you have to make.
Oh yeah,
are really, really good. Like when to bluff, when to really sprint and try to get ahead of your opponent, because the cards that you draw are your resources. So if you use them up to sprint, you don't have them to play later on.
Yeah, you can definitely paint yourself into a corner.
Yeah, so it's there are definitely enough decisions to make you want to keep coming back to this game.
For sure. But yeah, no, originally that game, along with the next game that I want to talk about, Air, Land, and Sea. Those were two games that I picked up so that me and Savvy could play. And for both games, I just immediately, I was like, I need to play this with more people.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get Noelle. Yeah. I want to play it with Noelle. I want to play it with Alex. I want to play it with Tom. I want to play it with everybody. It's just that addictive. It's like, I don't know. I want to get into everybody's head.
Well, let's go ahead and get into Air, Land, and Sea, right?
Yeah, Air, Land, and Sea.
That game, it hit me different. Like, when we first played it, I'm like, well, this is pretty simple. And, I thought these decisions were going to be somewhat simple. But as we played it more and more, I really found out that game in particular changes based on who you play.
Oh, who did you play with after me?
Alex.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How did he like
I'm
it?
not good at this game.
No. No?
I'm not good at this game.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, just like he sort of conceded earlier to Fugitive, I will concede to anybody with Air, Land, and Sea. I am not good at this game, but it is fun nonetheless.
Okay, so quick rules breakdown. Air, Land, and Sea is actually really simple to explain. You have a deck of 18 cards, 3 suits, essentially. The air suit, the land suit, and the water suit, or the sea suit, obviously. And you have 3 theaters, or, I don't know, like battlefields. Yeah, 3 battlefields that you're fighting over.
Yeah, it's called. They do say theater.
Yeah, that's the game's terminology is theater.
But essentially, the battlefields, Air, Land, and Sea.
Yeah, so your air cards are going to be like fighter pilots and stuff like that. Your land cards are going to be tanks and infantry. Marines and stuff, and then your sea cards are going to be battleships and stuff like that. Submarines, I think.
Yeah, submarines.
Yeah, stuff like that. And essentially, they're all valued between 1 and 6. 6 being the strongest cards and 1 being the weakest cards. However, they're all balanced with their own unique abilities within each suit. And those suits, played for their face value, can only be played to their specific theaters. And essentially what you're trying to do is have more points on 2 out of the 3 theaters against your opponent, where you both have only 6 cards to use to do that.
6 cards / 6 turns.
Yeah, exactly. There are certain abilities that will, introduce, a 7th card or what have you. But essentially that's what it boils down to. Have more points than your opponent in at least 2 of those theaters. Otherwise, you lose, they get some points, and then you move on, and you're at a deficit and have to try to catch up. Now, the most interesting thing, and what adds the headspace that I love so much about these games, is the surrender mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
So if you surrender with a full hand of cards, you're going to get greatly diminished, or your opponent will get greatly diminished points.
Well, just so we know, the game ends once somebody reaches 12 victory points.
Yeah, 12 victory points.
And so the very important thing that we need to make sure with this is, I can't recall exactly how many cards to how many points you get for surrendering, but I do know if you play out all 6 cards, if you play out the match and you lose, you give your opponent 6 points.
Yeah.
So you only require to lose twice. Now, if you surrender, like Jason was saying, well, I think it was 5 to 6 cards, you only give the opponent 2 points or 3 points. So depending on how much you play it, you will be punished for losing more greatly.
Yes. Yeah, if you play only one card, and then you decide to surrender, your opponent will only get 2 points. This does change a little bit depending on if you're first player or not, because there's some balancing there.
Right.
But yeah, essentially, if you call it super early and you're like, oh, I've got a handful of ones, I'm not going to be able to do anything with this. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, well, I'll just take the loss, but my opponent's only going to be 2 points up on me. What I love about that is, and it's funny, I pointed this out to Noel when I was playing, is I kept trying to like play my big bombs early to try to get him to convince himself that he can't win and get him to concede, but he never concedes. Never, ever. I was so frustrating. I was like, okay, every fight is going to be to the bitter end. To the bitter end.
And that's why I said that depending on who you play with will change the dynamic of this game greatly. Yeah. I am a kamikaze pilot. I am all in. I believe in myself like Naruto believes in him. I am going to be Hokage, goddammit. And that's the way I approach most games. So if you can just, if you can lure me in, you have me, okay? In almost every game. But specifically this one for whatever reason.
Yeah. And that's cool. I like that we both have one where we're clearly dominant.
I don't.
Well, you're not used to being in my shoes where I'm just losing at every game, so suck it. But yeah, that game, easy recommendation. I think that one is like 15 or under, actually, because it's literally just 18 cards plus 3 battlefields, and then some point tokens. And that's it.
Some point tokens, player card here or there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The small thing rules.
Oh yeah, the little reminder, and then the very small booklet for rules.
Yeah, it's cute. Like the design, the way everything fits into the box, everything is perfect.
It's toy.
Yeah,
like a toy.
Yep. Definitely recommend it. That would be like an amazing stocking stuffer.
Oh god!
All of these games that we're pretty much talking about today, stocking stuffers
for sure. Yes.
Yeah, if your friends don't have it and you know that they like one-on-one games, or you guys will be playing one-on-one games, gifts easy. Yeah. That's also another one for people who like to keep it thematic. That's a good one if you like war games. That's an easy one too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
A lot of these things, when I play 1v1s, I'm playing them because I'm competitive. So that's me always. That's why I sit down. I sit down to beat the person across from me. Very little do I ever think of theme and blah, blah. I think of theme and everything after the fact.
Yeah.
But if people are, they're interested in war games, this is a quick 1v1. Like, if you guys like playing, like Flames of War or Warhammer 40k and you're waiting for another round, pop this out. This is an amazing little in-between game.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. That would absolutely be great.
And right on the spot, too.
Like, hell yeah. I could easily see that being reskinned to Warhammer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can talk about reskins all day long. But yeah, thematically, this little war game fits into the pocket of anybody who enjoys that theme.
100%.
Yeah. We have a few more that we probably want to talk about. What do you want to get to next?
Okay, so let's talk about Seven Wonders Duel.
Okay.
That one is very interesting. I only got to play the one time, so my opinion here is going to be a little
green.
Yeah, very green, little uninitiated. In fact, I can't even give the rules breakdown for this game.
Well, the rules breakdown is, if you ever played Seven Wonders, it's not a sister game. It's more like a cousin game. A lot of the mechanics are like by name only and sort of adjacent to the way that you would play them in Seven Wonders. Yeah. There is ways for you to get resources in order for you to pay cards, and there are civilizations that you have to create, and all the same things that you would find in Seven Wonders. It's just compressed into a very elegant 2-player pick-em mode, sort of. Like, the one big difference between Seven Wonders and Seven Wonders Duel is the setup.
Oh, yeah.
So the way that you set up is, depending on which round you're playing, you would have a certain amount of cards that are face up and a certain amount of cards that are face down in certain intricate pyramid-like patterns.
Yeah.
And the way it works is the flipped up cards are the ones that you can select normally. The face down cards, you have to pick the cards under them, sort of like pillars. You have to take out the pillars before they become revealed. Just like Seven Wonders, there are resource cards, there are, I forget what the yellow cards are called, like markets and stuff like that.
Yeah, like economy cards.
Sort of like economy cards. There are buildings, which are just points, the blue cards, like Seven Wonders.
I think they're like culture, I think.
Yeah. And then you have technologies.
Yeah.
Which those are the biggest difference from Seven Wonders, I believe.
Oh, yeah, because it was multiplicative in Seven Wonders original.
Mm-hmm.
In Seven Wonders Duel, it's literally you get a pair, and it's going to unlock your choice of benefit.
Yeah. Depending on when you start the game, you'll put out a certain amount of technology tokens. Whenever you get a pair, you get to pick one of your benefits for the rest of the game. Now, the way you win this game, you can win it through points just like Seven Wonders, but there are two special win conditions as well with this game. Unlike regular Seven Wonders, you have your technology, which if you get, I believe it's 7 different ones or 6 different ones, you automatically win.
Oh, right.
And then if you ever move your war token down further enough on the army track, you automatically win as well. The technology I've yet to see a army or a military victory yet. It's very difficult to do the military.
Yeah.
Just like in Seven Wonders, you have to pay for all the cards, except for the ones that are free. That will be indicated by not having a cost. When you take them, unlike Seven Wonders, where you would pay your neighbor for the resource, you still only pay but if your opponent has that type of resource, it's sort of like taxed. He makes it more expensive.
Yeah, and okay. I kind of want to talk about things I liked and things I don't, because I think you basically covered everything, like the major differences.
Yeah, all the main things.
Yeah.
It's still, you have to pick your resources and try to accumulate the most points for the throughout the game.
Yeah, like overarching, all the same, themes are being hit. Everything feels
just slightly different.
Yeah, it feels like an alternate universe Seven Wonders, but it still feels like Seven Wonders.
Yeah, it hits all the right notes.
Like it's great. It's a great adaptation. I loved the card selection, where normally you'd be drafting, instead you're picking from the pyramid, so to speak, and some half of it hidden, half of it revealed. I both loved it and hated it.
Yeah, I figured you'd love it because you are a lover of Rochester.
I do love Rochester. I really do. And actually, we'll come back to that too. More about Rochester draft, but that's the one aspect that I loved about it is like, both players get equal information. It will all be revealed to everyone. However, the way it forces players to pick cards. Where if I pick this, it's going to unlock this for my opponent, and so on and so forth. It can really be reductive. Like there were several points where it was like, I'm going to pick that, he's going to pick that, I'm going to pick that, he's going to pick that, and
yes,
and that's what the hidden cards are there for, to prevent seeing too deep into the future. But it still was not enough. It was still felt bad.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you mean. I've played this game a bit more than you have, and that's definitely happened with the games that I've played, where the turn order kind of decided who was going to pick what.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
It doesn't always happen, and I think when the two players are more equally skilled, it'll happen less and less. But just because the starts won't start off, if somebody's been playing this game for a long time, they're probably going to have a better start than you.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the case in our case. I think I had a pretty bad start.
Oh, well, you still stomped me, so.
But that's kind of what I was talking about, because I picked a lot of that. Like, I got a lot of the technology doubles and things like that.
Yeah.
So the turn order was more favorable for me.
Right.
But I think that when you play it more often, those type of things, those situations will happen less and less. Hopefully.
I think in those situations, which, again, it was just the one game that I got to play, so I never got to test any theories, but now that I'm thinking about it, Like, yeah, like forcing yourself to take a raw deal, like taking a card you know is bad, but just to break up the, the evident paths ahead of you. That might be the required strategy, but I don't know.
A little bit. That will happen more with like the military route.
Yeah.
Because I've played games where Christina was very military aggressive, and so there are certain benefits, of course, getting points towards the end of the game. When you move your tracker up, at the end of the game, wherever your little military dude is, you'll gain points if he's further down. But also, as you move up, you gain the benefit of forcing your opponent to discard coins. And that's a real pain in the ass.
I can see that.
Sometimes I would, she'd be like really up, and I'm like, okay, if she gets one more military or two more military, she's gonna force me to discard X coins, and I need X coins to buy something. So, so I was forced to take a military when I didn't want to take a military, or she was, almost gonna beat me.
Yeah.
And I was forced to take one in order to just not flat out lose that turn. Right. Same thing for the technologies.
Between you and Christina, how many times have you guys played?
I think about like 8.
Oh, dang. So you guys really got a lot of play out of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know us. As soon as we get one game and we're competitive, we just grind through it a little bit.
Okay. So how close... Okay, so with the military, because that's what I wanted to do at the beginning of our game, is I was like, oh man, that sounds cool, like taking away money and like potentially ending the game early.
Yeah.
That sounds great. But as I saw the cards come up, I was like, I don't know if it was just a shortage of military cards or like...
In our game, when you set up each turn for the drafting, not all of the cards are going to be used.
Okay.
And in our game, military cards were the ones that got...
A lot of them were left out.
Yeah, they got left out. So we were playing a game with less military than normal.
Gotcha, okay. So,
which I did comment, I believe, at the end of our game, where I'm like, oh, look, here's all the military.
I think so. Also, I think a lot more of it showed up in the third era.
Yes.
And at that point, you were just ready to, like, oh, well, build wonder, or, discard for money, for money. And that always, I was just like, you son of a bitch. But yeah, a game that I would gladly give more plays. I don't know if against you. But yeah, some things I like, some things I don't. It's like 50-50. I'm on the fence with it. But it, of all the games that we're going to be talking about, I think it's definitely the deepest.
Yeah.
Or the most complex, anyways.
Yeah, and also, it has plenty of expansions. I know it has at least 2.
Oh,
so
okay.
There's always more that you can add to it if it ever gets a little stale.
Gotcha. I think I remember you saying that's why you and Christina stopped playing, is because you were waiting for the expansion.
Yeah, we need to pick up the expansions, because we played it enough to where we're going, okay, we need something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Or something to change it up a little. Not that 8 games... not that 8 games was our limit, just that we literally played, I think, like 8 games within the first 3 to 4 days of just owning it.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
We kind of like burned ourselves out really, really fast. And then we'd probably go back to it now, but we also have other games that we want to play as well. So.
And that's always the dilemma.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely gets another thumbs up for me. If I don't like a game, I'm going to tell you. But so... We're not just being like, oh, this game's good, and this game's pretty good too, I guess. No, these are all games that I happily play again.
Yeah. And I think in all the different people that create board game content like this, I think everyone can agree, like, it's easier to talk about games that you love, that you enjoy.
Yes.
Because that's where your passion is. Like, you're not going to be passionate about games that are just awful. Like those are games you avoid talking about, but we'll have to.
Yeah,
eventually we'll get there. The hate will flow.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop this little Easter egg for next time when we get together and we talk about games that we fucking hate. Competitive Munchkin.
Oh God.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next time.
Oh, I just threw up in my mouth a little.
For sure. Okay. I mean, 7 Wonders Duel. What's more to say about it? It's 7 Wonders. It's 7 Wonders' cousin that's flirting with you. It's a pretty good game. Definitely one-on-one. The compact side, it's good for like a table, but like this wouldn't be one of those games that you can like take like on an airplane or something. You know what I mean? It's not that small.
Yeah, you're gonna need some table space.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's not overly huge.
Yeah,
affordable. Well, probably around like 25 to 30, I think.
Okay.
So a little bit more expensive than some of the ones that we've talked about.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the other one that we actually got to play that was lent to us by one of our other casters, BB.
Yeah, BB loaned us Odin's Ravens. This is a mythical race game for 2 players.
Yeah.
Actually, I think of all of the games that we have today, this is the only one that we have the box in front of us for.
Yeah.
So this was designed by Thorsten Gimler and is published by Osprey Games. This game, I like that they have the description of mythical race game for 2 players because it definitely captures that race feel.
Yes.
A lot of
100%.
Yeah, some games, I don't know. There are plenty of games out there that are, praised for capturing the race spirit pretty well. I haven't got to play a lot of them. Like, I think La Flamme de Rouge or something like that is one of them.
All right.
But yeah, anyways.
Is that the bike racing one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay,
Gotcha. Yeah, you knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
See, I got the point across. Don't fucking
That's
make
because
fun
we're
of
in
me.
the same wavelength, dude. The listeners are going to be like, what?
The fuck did he just say? Did he just call my mother a whore?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Odin's Ravens essentially has both players playing as a black or a white raven. Basically, the track is a series. It's 16 dual-sided cards that with 5 different terrain on them. So you have like
mountains, plains. What was the other one? Well, one was like snow-covered mountain. The other one was kind of like a valley.
Yeah.
There was
a river,
like a jungle kind of,
and then a forest.
Actually, if we just go ahead and flip a box over.
Oh yeah, look at that!
Boom!
Right on the box. So we have like a desolate like mountain area. We have a snowy mountain area, a forest swamp thing, a river through a canyon, and then a plains. Yeah.
Very plainsy, very MTG there.
Yeah, very Magic the Gathering. So over these 16 cards, they're both double-sided. Double-sided?
Dual-sided, I think.
Dual-sided. They're split in 2.
Yeah.
You don't have to flip them over or anything.
Yeah, they're all one side facing with two different landscapes. Usually, sometimes they have the same landscape.
That's true. Anyhow, the reason they're split is because they're all lined up, and when they're all lined up, you basically have 2 lanes. You and your opponent start on opposite lanes, and you have to loop the track. So basically, you're going to on your side, you're going to race down your side of the track. Then you're going to cross over to their side and race back to where you started from, but on your opponent's side. And the way you do this is by playing these land cards that match, the track ahead of you. And there are rules regarding like if so you have Loki cards, which are trickery cards. And basically these Loki cards will allow you to manipulate the playing field, either by changing the track ahead of you, or moving your opponent, or letting you draw extra cards, things of that nature. So throughout the game, each player has access to only 8 of these Loki cards, like the god Loki, by the way. And I'm not saying like low key.
Yeah. Yeah. Odin's Ravens, Loki, Thor, you get it.
Yeah. There you go. So, it's really simple. If you have the cards in hand, the land cards in hand that match the track ahead of you, you play them. You'll jump ahead. There are ways to use those Loki cards to set it up so that one card gets you multiple spaces ahead. Yeah,
if the lands ever match, you would only need one of that type of land that corresponding land to jump all of them.
Yeah.
So if there are 3 planes back to back, you would only require one to jump all 3.
Correct. And yeah, so using those, like knowing when to use those cards to either help your progression or to hamper your opponent, is actually it's pretty fun. We only got to play the one time. It was actually right before we started recording. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it definitely captured it, because while there were some moments where both of us needed to stop and like, okay, I'm going to need a minute.
Gotta reset.
Yeah, for the most part, it was pretty straightforward. It was a lot of back and forth, and movement was pretty fluid.
Yeah,
and
we can tell when somebody got stuck a little bit.
Yeah, and it felt good to just unload, like, oh, I'm gonna move here, and screw you, and that always felt really good. But then like you only draw 3 cards at the end of each turn, so like that always felt bad. Unloading your whole hand and then be like, oh,
yeah.
I'm
A typical turn in this would be you play a one card to skip one. You play another card to possibly skip two if they're together. There's also a special rule where if you discard a pair of any land, you can move one.
Yeah.
So that's another way in order to get ahead. Like you said, there's Loki cards, which could do a variety of things. Most of them had, they were like dual-sided swords. So you could either affect your opponent and mess with them a little bit, or you can sort of set yourself up for an easier movement phase.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you would just draw up to 3. Or you would draw 3 cards at the end. Sorry. From either the Loki deck or the land deck. That's very important. At any time, you can draw from either one. So depending if you were on the roll, maybe you'd want to draw more land cards to try to get ahead. But if you saw that your opponent was coming up to a section where he was going to get a lot of value, maybe it was beneficial to start messing with him a little bit.
Yeah. So I like the game for what it was. I'm not sure what the price point is on this game or if it's still in print or anything, but it was a little shallow on that one, just based off that one play again.
It was, off the one play, it seemed a little simple, but it also it's a racing game. I didn't really want too much from it.
Yeah. But that's where I start to think about those other, like that bike racing game, because they introduce mechanics like drafting, for example. Like if you're behind your opponent, but within so many spaces, it's like you get an extra speed boost and can overtake them.
Well, actually, so I just totally looked this up because I don't want to be, not really selling, but like suggesting board games that people can't quite get.
Mm-hmm.
But I did just look this up, and it seems that you can still get this game fairly easy. $23 on Amazon.
Okay.
Yes, $23, $23.78 at the current moment. So it looks like it's still easily in print to get. All of these, from as far as I know, are all still in print.
Yeah. And I'm going to assume, if you couldn't tell based on our accents, we're in the U.S., so that's U.S. currency.
U.S. currency, yeah, USD.
I don't know how many pounds that would be.
Like $1 billion.
A U.S. dollar is strong.
Yeah. What do they give us? Rupees or some shit? What is it?
Yeah. But yeah, so that's Odin's Ravens.
Yeah. Fun game. I definitely want to give it another shot.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't like it, but it is definitely one of the more simple games that we ended up playing.
Yeah. Definitely the opposite end of the spectrum from Seven Wonders Duel. Yeah,
not that the decisions aren't, impactful or anything like that. It's just that, you can only do so much by matching a card.
Yeah.
You're 1 for 1-ing your way to victory. So it's definitely a game that I would probably teach my eldest daughter. She would probably end up liking that game. Oh yeah. And be frustrated that she can't win. But
you never know.
That's true. I don't. You know what? I'm just not going to teach her. She might win, and then that would just be a blow to my ego. All right, let's go ahead and move on to one of the last ones that we wanted to talk about, which is Pagoda.
Okay, Pagoda. So this game is right in the middle. I feel if Odin's Ravens was at the shallow end of the pool and Seven Wonders Duel was at the deep end, Pagoda was right smack dab in the middle. Pagoda's a 1v1 game where you're going to need a bit more table space. You're going to have one board in the middle, a community board, upon which you're going to be building pillars to a pagoda. Essentially how you do it is with these colored cards, and for each card that you discard, you build one column. Once you have 4 columns, once a pagoda has begun building, if you build one red column, for example, all the rest of the columns on that level for that pagoda have to be red. Once those 4 red columns have been built, you then add a level and start again with a different color depending on the tile that whichever player completed it chose. Yeah,
sometimes it can be, so if you start with red, you would get the next level and it is still red.
Yeah, and it's up to the player's choice.
Yes, that's very important right there.
Yeah, we got I think 3 or 4 levels built before I made that clear to you. So.
Yeah, just the way we had set it up, they were just sort of like on top of each other, and I figured it's just the first one is the one you're supposed to take. Yeah, but that is not the way, kids.
Yeah, so very crucial to the strategy of the game. I mean, you still ended up beating me anyway, so handicap or not. Yeah. It was close, actually. Yeah, I was happy about that.
It's not really a handicap when I would still just get... It's not like I didn't get the benefit.
Yeah,
it's just my planning was a little off, that's all.
Yeah. So there's a bit of trade-off to every move in this game. So, for example, if you're the first person to... Oh, and you can only build 3 pillars per turn, and it takes 4 to complete a level. So a little bit of inherent game design there. But if you use all 3 of those columns on one pagoda, you then set up your opponent to build the 4th column, then get the level, which when you complete a level... you get an added bonus. It's like a special ability that you get to use twice.
Yep. Depending on the tile that you pick.
Yeah, depending on the tile.
Or the color of the tile that you pick, I should say.
Yeah. Well, that's determined by the columns underneath. But whatever, semantics.
Yes. Semantics.
Anyways, so what happens then, after the first level has been completed, I should probably mention every column you build gets you 1 point. However, on the second level, each column you build is 2 points. So because you built 3 columns on the first level, you've gotten 3 points. Whoop-de-doo. Now your opponent builds the 4th column, that's 1 point, then builds the level, that's another point. Then he can build 2 more columns on that second level, which is 4 points. So 4, 5, 6 points altogether, where you earned a piddly 3. So
yeah, the setups are very interesting. Like you said, the higher you go up on each column, the more each one is worth. So there were lots of turns where we were debating whether or not to finish off a column to get the bonus for later rounds and sort of give your opponent a chance to score a chunk of points.
Yeah, that was one thing I respected about this game a lot, is it in the design itself. It really made you question at every turn, do I really need that bonus, or do I need those points?
Yeah.
Like, how do I force my opponent to do what I need to get what I'm going for?
Something that I truly enjoyed about this game is the control of information. So you have 5 cards face up showing your opponent what you can build the next turn, but you also have 2 hidden cards in your hand that you can use at any time. And that I felt was very, very interesting because depending on what's in your hand, if you had the matching colors, you can play not necessarily mind games, but you can choose between, like if you had a red in your hand and a red in the field, are you going to use the red in the field so you can replace it to get more? Or do you want a secret card in your hand? Certain times I had to make decisions based on what I thought was in your hand versus what was in your field.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really clever because you could have just had 6 cards face up and it would have been a much more simple game. But those 2 tiny cards that you kept secret changed the dynamic. Yeah,
it's surprising actually.
Yeah.
And actually the special abilities that you get to unlock. I don't want to waste too much time talking about all of those different ones. Also because I don't remember them perfectly.
Right.
But I just remember every one of those abilities. Like at the beginning of the game, I thought, oh, that's a useless ability. Oh, that's a useless ability. But for each one, when I got those abilities, inevitably every time I was like, oh, this is
useful.
Fantastic. This changes everything,
Yeah.
And yeah, oh man.
Yeah, just tiny little variations. Like, okay, so the 2 big ones are, one was you can discard 2 cards of any type to make 1 of any kind of pillar. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And then the other one was you can discard 2 of any cards to make another layer. Either a roof or a level. Yeah, either a roof or a level. I found myself certain times thinking, I'm like, oh man, I wish I had that specific one because it would really help out right here. Just actually getting the ability and then immediately using it just because that's the way your turn was set up.
Yeah.
It was just, those 2 were really cool because of course you need a way to sort of use randoms and wilds. The one that actually caught me off guard was both of the draws.
Yeah, the hand management. Those were the ones that I thought would be kind of weak.
Yeah,
that were surprisingly strong. So one was at the end of your turn. So at the end of each turn, what is it? You discard... No, at the end of your turn is when you refill your hand.
Yes.
At the beginning of your turn... Oh, I remember though.
So at the end, you would draw back up to...
Yeah, you refill your 5 in the field.
And then you refilled your hand.
And then you refill the 2 in your hand.
Yeah.
One of the abilities lets you refill up to 4, so it doubles your hidden information.
Yes.
But, at the expense of, like, when it comes to refill that hand again, if you're above 2, you're not going to go back up to 4. You're just,
It's a small burst.
Yeah, exactly. Then the other ability was, at the beginning of your turn, you can discard any number of cards from your hand or your public information and refill it immediately. Both of those were huge.
The timing.
Yeah.
Because I confused them a little bit, but each time I was like, are you sure? It's not, fuck. Like, it's not, it just had, I'm like, no, can we switch? Can we be at the end, in the beginning? Like,
right.
But yeah, they were both very, very cool.
Especially when used together. Just oof.
Yeah, anytime your turns consisted of doing more than one, it was usually a fairly big turn.
Yeah. However, I guess the one thing that was lacking in this game was the head games. Like, it wasn't... I felt like it was more in the air. Like, I didn't feel like I was directly influencing anything that you were doing. I felt like I was just doing stuff and hoping that you would do what I want you to do. But
yes, and like I said earlier, a lot of my decisions were based on what I think you had in your secret information in your hand, basically.
Yeah.
I also had to do a lot of decisions based on what you had available. Like if I saw, okay, you had 3 blue and we were already on the third level of 1, and those were all blue, I'm like, well, do I try to cock block him and take as many points from him as possible and give him the opportunity to finish that level and get another bonus? Or do I try to invest my time somewhere else for my future turn?
Right.
There was lots of those decisions.
But overall, like, aesthetically speaking, it has a lot of table presence.
Yeah.
Again, unlike any of the other games that we've talked about, this one will take up significant table space.
A bit more space, yeah.
Yeah. It's not like...
more components, too.
Yeah, more components. And you can't play on any non-stable surface because you're literally building little towers with tiny wooden pieces. So if you're playing on a surface where the table might get jostled by kids or pets, might not work out for you. Overall, it's a game I'm eager to get back to, actually. I want to play more of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely one of the ones that, like you said, it's right in the middle.
Yeah. Right
in the middle. It wasn't too complex. It wasn't too simple.
Yeah. The decisions felt meaningful.
Yeah. And that's actually been one of my a pile of shame games for the longest time.
Yeah, it's been on your shelf for a minute.
Yeah.
I always assumed...
Over a year. Over a year. Just because I think we bought it at the beginning of the pandemic when me and Christina thought we were going to play more games, and then we ended up doing other shit.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we sort of took the time to do all these 1v1s because we got to take that game out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it was super sweet. It's probably my favorite ones out of this besides Fugitive.
Nice.
Yeah, for me at least.
That's fair.
Well, I think that kind of does it for the 1v1s. We got just a little bit left in this podcast, and I wanted to talk to you about a discussion that we were having the other day that I actually brought it to Reddit and kind of got shit on.
Oh.
So we had this discussion on the last podcast a little bit, which I kind of edited out, but the gist of it was I don't enjoy Battlestar Galactica.
Right. But you do enjoy Dead of Winter.
I do.
Yes. And so this is something that we've gone back and forth on a number of times. Yeah. But, to me, ultimately you boil it down, both games are the same. And in the last podcast, I don't know if it got edited out yet or not, or I haven't listened to it yet.
There's just a little blurb.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, essentially I kind of jabbed at him a little bit. And, in fact, I made a call out to the audience, to hit us up, let us know, whose side are you on? Are they the same game or are they not? Yeah. And actually, hey, if you guys want to, you still can. Like, send us all the hate mail that you want. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, to me, I thought that was a worthy discussion, and I thought that having more people engaged in that conversation would be fun. And this is where you took it.
Yeah, I decided to take my case to Reddit, where I also thought, a group of like-minded individuals would like to chime in. But I kind of got shit on. I think for two reasons. One, the way I approached the question. I sort of put it out there a little bit too clickbaity for some. And I also decided to say, hey, we had this conversation during our podcast. And some people sort of took offense to that and decided that it was promoting bullshit and, just all sort of this toxic environment, just where because I was a quote-unquote creator, I kind of got shit on.
Yeah.
But most of the downvotes, I'm assuming, was because I don't like Battlestar Galactica.
And I read through a little bit of it. We were talking about it just before recording, and we decided that we'd talk about it on today's podcast. So I didn't get to go through it very thoroughly. I did see that the Dead of Winter, one of the designers, was in the comments there.
Yeah. God, I want to remember his name.
Johnny Rotten.
He goes by Johnny Rotten, co-dinosaur of Dead of Winter.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that means co-designer, but I could be wrong, I guess.
Yeah, him and Isaac.
Okay. But yeah, so, I won't be able to speak to all of the posts that were on that thread in Reddit, but it did seem like there were, for every person that was bitching about, you're just promoting your podcast, how dare you, there was an equal number of people saying, giving their legitimate opinion. Of course, there's always the lazy ones that are like, I think one person said, you answered your own question in the post. Yeah. For every one of those posts, there seemed to be another post with people genuinely giving their opinion.
Yeah, getting in on the topic.
Yeah. Which, so I don't want to make the subreddit sound like a shitty subreddit. It's a good subreddit. A lot of people like sharing very wholesome, memes and asking legitimate questions and, and...
Yeah, it was just a little weird.
Yeah, it was very off-putting for me. Like, when you told me that you posted it and you got downvoted, I was like, what? Why? What? I don't understand.
Yeah, the main guy was, I don't know how many people downvoted me. Like I said, I think the chunk of the downvotes was just because I said that I don't like Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
But one of the gripes, or one of the people that was adamant, was specifically like, I don't like when people post their stuff up here and then click link, have a link like, oh, come check me out, this is my podcast, blah, blah. It's like, I didn't do any of that.
Right.
I said, hey, blah, blah, blah. We were having a discussion on my podcast, and then I just put a little, put in between some brackets, Next Game Dilemma, and not linkable, not clickable, not highlighted in bold and all bedazzled or anything, and I just moved on with the conversation, or at least so I thought.
Right.
Some people really took offense to that, I guess. There's a way to promote on that thread, and I meet all the qualifications for it, but I didn't want to put a promoting thread. I just was asking a question. Right.
Like, I mean, at worst, it might have produced some answer. Well, I guess, actually, that's exactly what happened. It produced some responses that, we could talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
However, didn't think it'd be in this direction.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know what? The internet's going to be the internet. I think you made that case off the air.
Yeah, there was a person, I believe it was the creator of the Mana Leak. Mana, which is MANALEEK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does videos for MTG, and he does, draft videos on Arena and on MTGO. And he was talking about how, every time he got onto the board game subreddit, it made him less and less inclined to become a board game content creator. Which, I said, don't worry about it, do your thing. He's like, oh yeah, I've already been doing Magic for a bunch of 7+ years or whatever. Yeah. So I was a little sheep there, like, oh, my bad. I thought I recognized that name. I don't like that somebody who is coming from a community like Magic the Gathering, who is fairly toxic, just like any other CCG, honestly, sort of has that as their go-to reaction,
right?
Where they just run into toxicity, which I, again, haven't really ran into. I don't frequent Reddit very often, just because in general it wasn't my thing for the longest time. But I've been getting more and more into it. And every time that I've posted, it's been good. I've never really been controversial or anything. This is the first time that it's ever been negative. But it was specifically because I was a creator, which is really weird.
Yeah, I mean, you would think...
I put creator with, like, quotation marks.
I don't know. On the one hand, I get it. Like, it was kind of a clickbaity title with all the question marks and exclamation marks.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was a fun, like, tongue-in-cheek kind of...
or so I thought.
Yeah.
For sure. I thought I was trying to be more like, hey, yeah, like, of course that's a clickbaity title, but then I broke it down. This is the discussion we had.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be negative about either of the games necessarily.
Right. But so the bigger point, I guess, would be like, no matter how clickbaity that the topic was, like, there was no click to bait.
Yeah.
There was no link to the podcast. There was none of that. I don't know. And you know what? I think I was the first one to say, oh, we should talk about this on the podcast.
Yeah.
In the end, I'm not sure what I think that might accomplish, but I do think it's a jarring experience, and it might be interesting for people to hear and relate to. I don't want to, like, give off this vibe of, like, wag of the finger, like, shame on you, Reddit, or anything like that.
It's Reddit. It is what it is.
Yeah. Oh man, it's kind of not
just,
even.
It's a little salty.
Upsetting. Yeah. Salty. I think that's a good word for it.
Because it's not just Reddit, but it's the board gaming community of Reddit. Sort of felt like a safe place.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it.
And you just weren't expecting backlash for nothing?
For nothing.
Yeah, it's just weird, man.
And maybe our viewpoints are skewed because we're on the creator side. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like we're such amateurs. Like, we're just everyday dudes just doing something that more people should be doing, I feel.
Yeah, I literally posted up there, like, how I started earlier in this year. I'm like, I sold my Funko Pops. Me and my friend, we just bought all our little equipment, and here we are. Episode 11 now.
Yeah.
It's like 4 dudes at a time just talking about bullshit and board games, which was the original title for this podcast, by the way, Bullshit and Board Games. Bullshit
and Board Games. I don't know. I think that's a keeper.
Yeah.
That's a good title.
Yeah. Not like we're monetized right now, right?
Right.
But all in all, the few people that did put their insight into the actual question did leave some key things, mostly on how the game itself portrays itself.
Yeah. And there were some points that I wanted to bring up too. So every time I brought up the, Battlestar is the same game as Dead of Winter, it was always, understandably, there are different mechanics at play.
Yes.
One major mechanic is exactly the same, but beyond that one mechanic, where everyone puts in a certain number of cards to try to pass the thing. Yeah. Beyond that, pretty much everything is mechanically different. The feels were very much the same. However, realistically speaking, I know there's more beyond that too. Battlestar Galactica doesn't really have any innate storytelling. It just provides a setting in an existing universe where, to fully appreciate it, it expects you to know something about Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
At least a little bit.
Right. But you didn't need any of that to enjoy the game mechanically. Whereas Dead of Winter, like, not only wanted to draw you in with its own, universe and everything, but it did so beautifully on every one of those event cards that happens at the end of every player's turn.
Yeah.
And it does a great job of that. And I don't want to undersell either of these games. I think they're both really good games. I owned... Past tense, owned both games. Now I only own Dead of Winter, but that's not because I got rid of Battlestar. I just lost it in a move at some point.
I was to ask, because I'm like, I don't remember ever having that game, so... Yeah, it didn't come my way. Which, good, because I would have burned that motherfucker. See, I am quite the opposite of him. I will downplay Battlestar Galactica. Don't get that game. If it is the same game as Dead of Winter, get Dead of Winter. Like, just as easy as that for me. I don't know what it is. What's the big difference? Like I did mention in the post that the group that you play with makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
For your how you come out.
In this same respect, though, so a little bit of backstory because it might have been edited out. But Noel's bad experience comes from play one game, the first game.
So I played it twice altogether.
Oh.
But yes, go ahead.
So your first game was with Kenny.
Correct.
Okay. So Kenny was a player, I would say, to me, a decent, good friend. I would say good friend. maybe good acquaintance.
At least, yeah. He was an acquaintance for sure.
At the time, like when Battlestar Galactica was less than 6 months old. I think it was fairly new. But he wasn't into board games. We knew him for the Magic community, and we played mostly just Magic with him. He didn't really, when we were getting into board games, he was still playing Magic and didn't really catch the train with us. So when we brought him on board to play Battlestar Galactica, he was not into it. He'd never seen the show. He'd never played any board games. He was still in the mindset of, oh, we're going to play Monopoly? Sure, whatever. And so he pretended to be the Cylon, or a Cylon.
When he was not
a Cylon, yeah. Basically that attitude carried on through the entire game, and it ruined the experience.
Yeah, it definitely ruined the experience. Just because it was kind of addicting to do.
Yeah.
I don't think he thought it was as damaging as it was to the experience. Because not only was it more difficult in general because he was playing an additional bad guy, when there could have been two, for sure, there could have been two because it was a big game. We got lucky to where there only was one, and then he decided to be Cylon anyway. So he made it more difficult for no reason. And then on top of that, it's a long game, man.
It is a long game.
It's a long game when you're not playing it right.
Yeah. But see, now this is where I wanted to kind of step in to defend the game a little, because Battlestar Galactica is not the only game that can be easily ruined by one person just playing
Agreed.
Against the grain. Or not against the grain, against the design of the game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So I think it's a little unfair to carry that torch.
The reason, what finally put the nail in the coffin for me was the second playthrough, where we played through it. We played through all the motions, and we still lost, which, again, I don't care if we lose. There's plenty of board games where you lose a lot. What finally did it for me was the fact that the second game didn't really feel different than the first game. Except for the fact that we didn't have somebody who was purposely ruining it. So when I played it again the second time, and sort of got the same vibe and the same playthrough, minus his dickishness, it's sort of like, oh, well, what's the point? Like, if I'm going to get the same, sort of salty taste in my mouth anyways, just because of the way everything went, and the whole betrayal mechanic with Battlestar Galactica, I don't personally like, just because it's two very different games. If I'm going to be doing something like that, where one person is constantly trying to fuck the other person, I'm going to play, what's that Dracula game that Tom wants to play?
Oh, Fury of
Dracula. Or games where one person is an uber person and the other people are either running or doing something else. Because I might as well just do it that way, to me.
Okay. So it's, you don't like the aspect of trying to figure out who's doing the fucking?
No. In Battlestar Galactica, you specifically have, if you are the Cylon, your specific role is to fuck with them as much as possible while staying hidden. 100% hidden. And if you do become revealed, you become slightly more powerful, but your decisions get cut down because now you're sending like Cylon ships and you're doing other shit. But you're playing a completely different game than your players. With Dead of Winter, a lot of the decisions that you're making are mutually beneficial most of the time.
Yeah, okay. So, and this is one point that I did concede. One of the major differences, mechanically speaking, or not even mechanically speaking, I guess this is like more of a broad stroke, like overall design difference, is that in Dead of Winter, you require everyone else to stay alive. Like,
yes.
If anyone is lost or I forget. There's no player elimination, right?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, you just pick up a new character, I think.
Something like that. Either like that, or you can lose people in your facility. There's other things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain ways where you can get screwed up, but there isn't just... My main thing is that the play style for everybody is the same in Dead of Winter. Everybody knows that everyone is out for themselves. That is a clear given from the very beginning. With Battlestar Galactica, it is just, if there's no Cylons, that's cool. Then everybody's playing a cooperative game where they're trying to do it, and the board themselves is now the thing you're fighting against.
Yeah. With
Dead of Winter, a lot less than that. Or it's you don't have to worry about that. You're all playing the same game.
Yeah.
With Battlestar Galactica, if you're the Cylon, you are now playing a completely different game from your players.
Yeah, so I guess to summarize what I was trying to say was, like, in Battlestar Galactica, you're going to screw everybody up as much as you can, but you can do that, lightly at the beginning and then heavier at the end, or whatever combination of that you want to do. But in Dead of Winter, survival is so difficult, so trying, that you really need the entire team there for the entirety of it. In fact,
good 90%.
Yeah, like there's a I've only played it, I want to say 4 or 5 times, but I've been waiting for the moment where it's like, okay, you know that I'm the traitor, but you still need me.
Yeah.
Like, I've been waiting for that to come up. It really hasn't yet, but all the ingredients are there. So I know it's just an inevitability.
Dealing with the traitor in Dead of Winter is a lot more harsh to the group, because now you're down a person.
Yeah.
Versus Battlestar Galactica, if you find out who the Cylon is, he's like, okay, cool, I'll just be a Cylon now, like, full time.
But also, I think the reason it doesn't come up that way in Dead of Winter, now that I really think about it, is because it's so hard to really pin somebody like that, because every player has their own needs that they need to attend to before helping the group to assure their victory.
But that's where you sort of make the decision, where you have to draw the line and be like, look, you either help us,
yeah,
or we're gonna deal with you, because you are actively. When somebody goes too far off and it's like, nope, can't help you guys, that's when we're like, shifty eyes. We're looking at you like, Fry, man. Like,
yeah,
something's up. It's harder to be selfish the entire game of Dead of Winter.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's just, if you like Battlestar Galactica and you own all the expansions and you constantly get it to the table and you guys have a ball, it's just the best game experience that you guys have, fuck it. Play it as much as you want. More copies for you. Yeah. For me, it's not my style of game. Even though Dead of Winter is very close in mechanics, all of the tweaks that they've made is just perfect for me. It's exactly the tweaks that I needed to make it an enjoyable experience.
Yeah. What do you think? Does that wrap things up?
Yeah, pretty much. Just wanted to give a little FU to Reddit. Not really. Like I said, it was mostly just a couple people that were Debbie Downers.
Yeah.
On that forum. No big deal. Not really caring.
Vocal minority, but those up and down votes kind of hurt.
Yeah, a little bit. Just because questions, man. How can you downvote questions?
Right.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
But anyways, yeah, that pretty much does it for us. Take it easy, guys.
Peace.
We are everywhere. We are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, where we would love to interact with our listeners. We've just launched our new website, nextgamedilemma.com, where you can find links to our episodes and full board game reviews, and more coming soon. If you have any questions, comments, or podcast ideas, you can reach out to us at noel@nextgamedilemma.com. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy, guys.